Um, we're more than halfway through. So we'll start with chanting invocation to Kuan Yin together, and then Thanissara will lead us on a guided meditation.
So, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone as well. Let's take a few moments to release from what we've been doing and what we need to do so we can be in this space and dedicate ourselves to learning and deepening into the Kuan Yin Dharma of the Great Compassion Mantra. So taking a few breaths, deepening breaths, and just arriving. And breathing out, releasing from the momentum of it all. And breathing in, deepening with the in-breath, embodied presence, being here with how it is now. Slowing down, grounding, arriving. And just receiving what we're with, what we're feeling, with kindness, spaciousness. So first of all, extending this kindness and compassion to our own being, ourselves. Many of us, many in the world, are holding a lot, feeling distraught, anxious. So these energies, we just notice them and allow them space, kindness, and touching awareness to the point of contact, kindly awareness, transforms, heals, is alchemically, energetically transformational. And we can breathe down into any points and places of turbulence, soothing, calming, what's in the felt sense body, and breathing out, again releasing, softening the holding. So our trust and our refuge is in the Dharma. Everything else is so transient at this time, so unreliable. There's a lot of things where the mind goes is very connected with suffering and stress and overwhelm. There's so much economic and political and social turbulence. So remembering the refuge, and in that we're practicing the Kuan Yin Dharma door, which is a very powerful medicine and just made for this time. Just invoking in whatever way is meaningful to you, the presence of great compassion, this ancient force through the vow power of Bodhisattva. Namo Kuan Yin Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva Mahakarunika. Great compassion. Let's vow to stay close to this realm, invoking the presence of deep compassion, which is the natural quality of the citta, the heart. Bringing this into our heart, inviting Kuan Yin into our heart. As Master Wa said, if we recited our own name when we know who we really are, you would know who Kuan Yin is. There's no ultimate separations. And suffusing on an in-breath, the blessings, the merciful nectar, healing and soothing through our whole body and being of Kuan Yin. And breathing out the anxieties, the worries, the upsets. And as a conduit for this energy of compassion, in our mind's eye, just gathering the suffering, like in a large net of the world. Just the moment there's so much division, there's so much hatred, there's so much fear, there's so much greed, or just as the Buddha said, greed, hatred, and delusion, the poisons of the mind are in full force, so much destruction, pain from that. Distorting living beings, capturing in the spells of false narratives and delusions. As the Bodhisattva Kuan Yin is gather that in a great net, bringing it to the heart of Kuan Yin, the Bodhisattvas in the stream of awakening, like throwing that salt crystal that the Buddha talked about of karmic, unwholesome karma, like a salt crystal. If we try and put it in a cup and drink it ourselves, it's too toxic. Putting it in the river Ganges, putting it in the river of awakening. Just whatever is bothering us, whatever we've gathered in our net, all the pains and sorrows, offering that into the river of awakening, of the great Bodhisattvas, the Buddhas, the Devic, subtle beings of light and radiancy, the Dhamma protectors, the elemental beings that protect the land, Mother Earth, all protector beings, plants and allies, ancestors, saints and sages, all that holds to the wholesome and uplifts the Dhamma. It's a great river of awakening at this moment, elevating consciousness, transformational. Transforming the shadows into evolutionary consciousness. This is our curriculum, offering it all into this great stream of awakening through Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. We call on her mercies. We call on her healing. We call on her illumination. May all be free from suffering. May all know peace. May all be protected from harm. May all beings return to their original nature. Namo Kuan Yin Pusa. Namo Avalokiteshvara. Namo, Namo. Returning our lives to the one that contemplates at ease the sounds of the world, being at ease in the midst of it all. And handing you back to Mel so we can learn Kuan Yin's mantra to help us manifest the energies of Kuan Yin more powerfully, more profoundly.
So, we're up to line 40. So what I suggest we do now is chant from the beginning as far as there at a sort of medium pace, and then we'll carry on learning the new lines together. So Namo Ladano Dolaye Namo Aliye Bulujadi Shabolaye Bodhisattva Mohajaluni Jayanan Sapanlafaye Sodanoda Senam Sijili Doi Mangali Belushidi Shafola Lingdopa Namo Nola Jinju Sili Moha Pando Samye Sapa Dudu Shupanga Shuyan Sapa Sado Namo Pasado Namo Pajemo Fate Duda Chuduna Apalusi Lujadi Jaladi Sili Moha Buddhi Sato Sapa Sapa Mola Mola Mosi Mosili Tuyun Julu Julu Jameng Dulu Dulu Fashayadi Moha Fashayadi Dola Dola Dilini Shafola Jela Jela Momo Fa Mola Mudili Isi Si Shano Shano La Shen Fola Shali. So line 41 sounds like this. Fasha fashen. Fasha fashen. Fasha fashen. Fasha fashen. And chanted. Fasha fashen. Fasha fashen. Fasha fashen. Okay, line 42 sounds like this. Fola she ye. Fola she ye. Fola she ye. Fola she ye. And chanted. Fola she ye. Fola she ye. Fola she ye. So we'll go back to line 41 and run those two lines together. Fasha fashen bola sheye. Fasha fashen bola sheye. Fasha fashen bola sheye. So line 43 sounds like this. Hulu hulu mola. Hulu hulu mola. Hulu hulu mola. Hulu hulu mola. And chanted. Hulu hulu mola. Hulu hulu mola. Hulu hulu mola. So now we go back to line 41 as far as there. Fasha fashen bola sheye. Hulu hulu mola. Fasha fashen bola sheye. Hulu hulu mola. Fasha fashen bola sheye. Hulu hulu mola. Line 44 sounds like this. Hulu hulu sili. Hulu hulu sili. Hulu hulu sili. Hulu hulu sili. And chanted. Hulu hulu sili. Hulu hulu sili. Hulu hulu sili. So let's go back to line 41. Fasha fashen bola sheye. Hulu hulu mola. Hulu hulu sili. Fasha fashen bola sheye. Hulu hulu mola. Hulu hulu sili. Fasha fashen bola sheye. Hulu hulu mola. Hulu hulu sili. Line 45 sounds like this. Sola sola. Sola sola. Sola sola. Sola sola. And chanted. Sola sola. Sola sola. Sola sola. So back to line 41. Fasha fashen bola sheye. Hulu hulu mola. Hulu hulu sili. Sola sola. Fasha fashen bola sheye. Hulu hulu si li so la so la. Fasha fashin vola sheye hulu hulu mola hulu hulu si li so la so la. So line 46 sounds like this. Sili, sili. Sili, sili. Sili, sili. Sili, sili. Enchanted. Sili, sili. Sili, sili. Sili, sili. So let's go back to line 41. Fasha fashin bola sheye hulu hulu mola hulu hulu sili sola sola sili sili. Fasha fashin bola sheye hulu hulu mola hulu hulu sili sola sola sili sili. Fasha fashin bola sheye hulu hulu mola hulu hulu sili sola sola sili sili. So line 47 sounds like this. Sulu sulu. Sulu sulu. Sulu sulu. Sulu sulu. Enchanted. Sulu sulu. Sulu sulu. Sulu sulu. So back to line 41 again. Fasha fashin bola sheye hulu hulu mola hulu hulu sili sola sola sili sili sulu sulu. Fasha fashin bola sheye hulu hulu mola hulu hulu sili sola sola sili sili sulu sulu. Fasha fashin bola sheye hulu hulu mola hulu hulu sili sola sola sili sili sulu sulu. Line 48 sounds like this. Putti-e, putti-e. Sorry, spoken. Putti-e, putti-e. Putti-e, putti-e. Putti-e, putti-e. Putti-e, putti-e. Enchanted. Putti-e, putti-e. Putti-e, Putti-e, putti-e. Putti-e, putti-e. So let's go back to line 41 again. Fascia, fashion, vola, sheye, hulu, hulu, mola, hulu, hulu, siri, sola, sola, siri, siri, sulu, sulu, putti-e, putti-e. Fascia, fashion, vola, sheye, hulu, hulu, mola, hulu, hulu, sili, sola, sola, sili, sili, sulu, sulu, putti-e, putti-e. Fascia, fashion, vola, sheye, hulu, hulu, mola, hulu, hulu, sini, sola, sola, sini, sini, sulu, sulu, putti-e, putti-e. So line 49 sounds like this. Puttoye, puttoye. Puttoye, puttoye. Puttoye, puttoye. Puttoye, puttoye. And chanted. Puttoye, puttoye. Puttoye, puttoye. Puttoye, puttoye. So, back to line 41. Fascia, fashion, vola, sheye, hulu, hulu, mola, hulu, hulu, sini, sola, sola, sini, sili, sulu, sulu, putti-e, putti-e, puttoye, puttoye. Fascia, fashion, vola, sheye, hulu, hulu, mola, hulu, hulu, sini, sola, sola, sini, sili, sulu, sulu, putti-e, putti-e, puttoye, puttoye. Fascia, fashion, vola, sheye, hulu, hulu, mola, hulu, hulu, sini, sola, sola, sini, sini, sulu, sulu, putti-e, putti-e, puttoye, puttoye. And line 50, the last line we'll be doing today, sounds like this. Mi-di-li-ye. 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 And chanted. Mi-di-li-ye. 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 So, back to line 41. Fasha fashin vola sheye hulu hulu mola hulu hulu sini sola sola sini sini sulu sulu puti puti potoye potoye midiliye Fasha fashin vola sheye hulu hulu mola hulu hulu sini sola sola sini sini sulu sulu puti puti potoye potoye midiliye Fasha fashin vola sheye hulu hulu mola hulu hulu sini sola sola sini sini sulu sulu puti puti putoye putoye midiliye So, those are the lines for this week. I remember when I was learning the Great Compassion Mantra, this last section that we've just gone through, somehow it went in really easily. It was like a whole big chunk that just went in. I think these vowel sounds, the hulu hulu mola hulu hulu sili, they're really pure sounds. They have amazing harmonic qualities. I think Master Wa says that it's just pure sound. You know, they don't necessarily have meaning, but it sort of acts on a vibrational level. So yes, I found that this whole chunk sort of went in really, really well. So some of the earlier lines are quite a struggle, as you've probably discovered, but we've just done quite a nice easy section. I just wanted to offer some reflections on the Great Compassion Mantra and how I've been using it more recently, in fact. As you know, Thanissara and I learnt this way back in the monastery in 1983, I think it was, from a tape from Bodhisattva, and I left the monastery in 94. I've used the Great Compassion Mantra as a practice, as a devotional practice, a lot of the time since I left the monastery. Not all the time, but I just wanted to tell you a bit about the situation I'm encountering now. I live in a feudal village in southern England. It's owned by a lord, Lord Gage, and I've been here for 20 years. I rent a workshop where I make furniture, and I have a cottage, and the new manager has decided he wants me out, so I've got an eviction notice for my house, and also the lease is not being renewed on my workshop. So basically I'm having the plug pulled out of everything that I've created over the last 20 years. So I've got until the end of the year to get out. It's not an easy situation, as you can imagine. But I just wanted to share with you what a resource the Great Compassion Mantra is, and the reflection on Kuan Yin, the visualization practice, however you use the Kuan Yin practices, what a resource it is when the going gets tough. In particular, I haven't always chanted the Great Compassion Mantra every day, I have to say, but right now it's helped me through the first month of this fairly devastating period, and it's given me a regular practice to go to, where I know I can use the visualization in particular. I think Thanissara's visualizations in her meditations have been very, very beautiful, very powerful, and I've found the visualizations of Kuan Yin and the sort of crystalline light very, very powerful, very beautiful, and the focusing on the heart center as well, so that one isn't just sort of contracted in a fearful state. It kind of, the mantra itself helps to open out the mind, takes it away from sort of festering worries and fears, and makes me feel that I don't have to be a victim of fate. That I think that if I focus on purity and goodness, that, you know, the things that I will draw to myself will be good and beneficial. And the interesting thing is, a couple of weeks after I got the eviction notice, I actually own a flat in Brighton, which is the nearby town. I have a tenant in there, but I thought, there's no way I want to evict that tenant. There's no way I want to inflict on her what I've just been through. And once I'd made that decision, the very next day I got an email from the council saying, your tenant has just been rehoused. I couldn't believe it. So I was stunned. So literally a door has just opened, very unlikely, that I'll just slip back into the flat that I own in the nearby town. At least I've got somewhere to get a roof over my head. So, you know, it's a very strange time, but I just wanted to share with you really how I relate to this practice. You know, I find it incredibly helpful. It's like an anchor for me, you know, when really tough things happen, which of course they happen. Really tough things can happen in our lives. Is that it's just wonderful to have this practice at our disposal. So I know it can be a bit onerous trying to go through this learning process, but I really, really recommend you to stay with it, because it's really worthwhile. And yeah, just wanted to share that with you now. So.
Okay, well, I guess we better wrap up, right?
We better wrap. Yes. Do you want to offer the blessings of this, Thanissara?
Sure, let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just aware of the enormous struggle of this moment, this planetary evolutionary moment, and all that's working to go into a regressive place against this potential for a beautiful world. So without distinction, without creating splits at this level in our mind and in our heart, invoking Kuan Yin, the power of Kuan Yin and all that's represented in this stream of awakening, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and awakened ones, elemental beings, guardians and protectors of earth, the Devic beings of light and radiancy. All of this we invoke at this time. So together, just in your mind's eye, seeing this sweet dew, sudu, sweet dew of nectar, soothing, calming, healing the wounds of the ancestors, liberating us from old stories and cycles of violence. So breathing that sweet dew through your body, through your being, increasing courage and the strength and the compassion, the empowerment of true words of Kuan Yin. And then extending that out, may we offer together this prayer and the prayers, wholesome prayers of all, to all beings at this time. May there be compassion for all. May there be healing for all. May all suffering be transformed into sweet dew nectar, soothing, nourishing, washing through and away the poisons of the mind. May all be liberated. May all be free from suffering. May all know peace. Om.